All right, everybody. So we're back, and we're at week 9 of the season. We've had an awesome start to our year so far. Things are really looking up for our program. Um, we are 5-0 at this point. We're ranked number 10 in the country. And this week, we're going to be playing Texas State, who we actually lost to last season. So this is going to be a revenge game for us, hopefully. And we're going to continue to go down the path of continuing this win streak for ourselves. So this is kind of where we've started to see the performance of our team really tick up. We've started to see some of the longer pass plays. So like last week we had a pass from Mark Myrick of 63 yards. We had one of 30 some, 40 some yards. So it's just we're getting to the point where we're starting to see our team really start to develop on offense. The first couple weeks were a little rough though. All right, so let's go ahead and look here. We don't have a lot of points to spend this week on recruits, but what we are seeing here is we've got a few 4-star athletes. We've got Chuck Cummings, who we are currently in the lead for, who would be an awesome grab for us as a freshman. We've got Nick Wright at quarterback, who we are solidly in the lead for him. Tyree Castillo, who would be an immediate impact in the secondary on our defense. Kevin Mack as well. We're a little bit farther behind on him, although we do have some of our recruiting skills do allow us to steal players, but we'll have to see with him. He'd be great to take. He probably wouldn't see the field a whole lot for the first couple seasons just because we have McFadden and Tommy Washington, but again, would still be a good find. We have Mike Garcia, offensive line. We've got a few offensive linemen here. He's only a 1-star, not really interested in that. Athlete, Alex Newberry. He is kind of looking like he may end up, let's look at his, I don't know if we've looked at his scouting so far. Speed, acceleration, zone coverage, press. So he's probably going to be a spin move is an 83, juke, carrying. So he honestly, he could be a wide receiver. He could be a corner. He'll probably end up being a safety or a cornerback, most likely. His tackling 71. His press coverage is an 80. So he'll probably end up being a defensive back of some sort. All right, so then we've got another running back, another wide receiver, a defensive tackle, who we're not in the lead for at the moment, but that's all right there. And then we've got Eric Miller, who is a 3-star safety, who we are in second place for. A defensive end, a guard, defensive end. So it's kind of one of those interesting things where last year it felt like we were offering a scholarship. I felt like we were really struggling to find players. We got some decent players last year, but we didn't get as many who had us at the top of their list, especially these 4-star recruits. We only had one 4-star last year, and we weren't even close to pulling him in that situation. So we do have 805 points to spend, so let's go ahead and spend that. We're still in the lead here for Chuck Cummings. We'll spend a little bit more there. Don't really need to spend more for Nick Wright. Can't spend more there. Can't spend more there. Don't need that. Don't need that either. Not really interested in that. Don't need that. Don't need that. spend some more points on Scott Yates. Oh man, he's a 3-star. So he's a 63 overall. So we could spend like 50 points on him at least to start taking an effect on the recruiting process there. We really do need to like make sure we're picking up offensive linemen, or we can, just because that's like one position. They're super important, and when I was younger playing this game, there would be times where I would not. There would be times where I would not do a good job of recruiting offensive linemen. I would not do a good job of recruiting offensive linemen, and then I'd really suffer for it. I don't think I ever really realized why. So, man, we're pretty far back with this guy. I want to stay in the running for players if at all possible. So we do have about 100 more points left. All right, so we're at 6,500. So let's go ahead and get into this game. So this is going to be, again, a revenge game for us because we did lose this game rather painfully last season. Our biggest struggle last year was our passing attack was just not very lethal. It was just not a very potent passing attack. So we're hoping that this year that we can take it to these guys and have a good showing. If you look at the stats, I think we looked at the NCAA rushing stats last week, or whenever we were recording yesterday. And Tommy Washington's third right now. He's still very close to that second and first and second spot. The biggest reason why he dropped down to third was because we had 2 bye weeks in a row, I believe. So but even with that, you know, he was still, even with that, he was still, he's still way up there, so I don't think it's going to be all that big of an issue. I think we're going to do the opposite of what I normally do, is we're going to kick this away first. So Grant Griffin is on the field to kick this away. That was not as good of a kick as I could have gotten. Still in the end zone, but he'll probably take this out. I do not remember what style offense these guys are in. So they're in a pistol right now. And he's wide open. That has been one significantly weak part of our defense, has been our pass defense. Even in zone coverage, we've sometimes we've just left guys wide open at times. First and 10. It's going to be a run play. They only get one. This might be our chance to put them in possibly a 3rd and long situation if we can mitigate how much they get on this next play. And we do. We bring the safety blitz, and that has its desired effect. So it's going to be 3rd and 11. So come out with a 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end set. Oh my gosh. That's one of those things that, man, rough start to the game for the defense. Not what we were looking for at all. All right, so John McFadden brings it up for 22-yard gain. So because our defense, really big letdown there, it feels like, but on defense there that first drive. But we're going to have to make up for it on offense here. Lopez is going to get not a huge gain, but a fairly big gain on this play. You let the slant route develop for a long time. And Lopez is able to locate this and pull it in. All right, so Tommy Washington has been one of the top rushers in college football this year. He would have been one of the top rushers last season, but he got hurt. Oh, did he get hurt? I think he got hurt for at least 1 or 2 games last season. Okay. So we're going to be 2nd and 7, right on the 20-yard line. And Allen's had a couple catches today. He's actually had a quietly superb season. He's had a very nice season this year. And unfortunately, Tommy Washington's not really able to do much. Ooh, that should have been picked. We're lucky that wasn't picked off. I thought Lopez was going to cut outside faster than that. And Myrick's able to run into the end zone to tie this game up. He doesn't scramble a ton, but when he does, he's capable of getting places. All right, so First and 10. And Strickland, we're able to run all the way around the backside because we saw the motion. And Strickland's able to get a loss of 3. And Harvey is going to pick this off. And is he going to get to the end zone? He is. And so it's a pick 6. So even though we give away that first touchdown on that really disappointing bomb, Justin Harvey picks that off. He's covering the running back, it looks like, and he runs all the way back for a score. So we do recover initially from that first touchdown drive by Texas State. All right, so this is an excellent kick. Should just be kneed down, and it is. Oh, he should have gone down, and he's going to get taken down after a gain of 6. He almost went down in the backfield, but I don't know if the defender just didn't see that he had the ball or what. And he's sacked, and I believe that's, well, it's by by Mr. Madison back there, but it was kind of created by the blitz from the corner. Oh my gosh. My pass coverage is just grotesque sometimes. That's just, ugh. Killing me. This is why we really need, I'm trying to remember his name right now, but the cornerback that we're recruiting at the moment. It'd be great to have somebody like that in our back end who isn't going to get beat deep. Or at least it's going to be harder to beat him deep. Because it's only the first quarter and we've had two plays that have where we've gotten roasted. How has he not been sacked? And he drops that. Oh my gosh. He somehow magics his way out of a sack, but they don't complete it, and they are going to go for it here. So we're going to bring a lot of pressure. We're going to bring some pressure here. And he doesn't hang on, and so this is going to be a turnover. The pressure forces the pass probably a little sooner than he wanted to. And we're going to be able to get the ball back here. Up 14-7. God, Tommy Washington, man. He's had don't get me wrong, he's had an excellent season so far. Absolutely stellar. It's just been frustrating because there have been times where it's just like, if we had, we have a pretty good center, somebody who I think is going to be great for us he's only a freshman. He's a 77 or 79 overall, and he's going to be great for us for the next few years. But some of our other linemen are just, they leave a lot to be desired. They don't hold blocks for nearly as long as they should, which makes it hard for even if there is an opening. Even if there is an opening somewhere, it just makes it really quite. Oh God, that's not who I want to throw that to. Yikes. It does make that very difficult. All right, so we're going to be in the shotgun here in 2nd and 10. Lopez is going to go deep on the outside, but we have Jefferson wide open in the middle of the field. For a 17-yard gain. And this is going to be the end of the first quarter. Georgia State is going to be up 14-7 in this revenge game against Texas State. Although Texas State has been putting up a pretty good fight so far. Although this game, I mean, this team just feels different. Oh, yikes. This team just feels different, though. Or Georgia State just feels different. You know, it's just we're how did that not get completed? He was wide open. Yikes. And Hudson is going to, it might be his first catch of the game, but it's a big catch because he moves the chains. So that was a pretty good run by Tommy Washington, 8 yards up the middle. He's just not averaging a whole lot right now, which has been a little bit frustrating. But again, compared to last season, you know, we were having to rely on the run a lot more last season. And this year it's been much more balanced, I think. We just didn't have receivers that were getting open. McFadden is going to run this one into the end zone. He was wide open. He was the outlet pass. Nobody covered him, and he was able to break a tackle or two and get into the end zone. But even though he's been our second string back, he's been excellent. He breaks one tackle. Been absolutely excellent. A great piece. Great piece for our offense, and it's 21-7 now. This should be taken as a knee in the end zone, and it is. So Texas State is in a little bit of a hole right now. It's still fairly early in this game, and it's only a 2-touchdown lead, but they're probably feeling at least a little bit of pressure. I do just sort of feel like our defense is straggling a little bit behind our offense in terms of development. In terms of just overall, I mean, I think ratings-wise, I think the defense isn't rated as high. I think they're like a 73, where I think the offense is a 77, maybe 77. Can't remember. But it's been a little bit difficult just because. Oh, Strickland blew that tackle, buddy. Again, I think sometimes the computer just doesn't recognize or maybe it's an awareness thing, maybe it's a stats thing. I feel like that might have an effect too, where it's like they're like, well, who has the ball, and then they don't tackle him, or it's more delayed, and that's just going to be thrown out of bounds. So I don't know what this is going to be. Looks like it'll probably be some sort of run, and they're not going to get it. At the last second, we audibled to a blitz when we saw the motion, and the defensive tackle was able to pick him up, and they're going to punt it back to us. So this is great for us. Holman's going to let this one bounce, and it'll just go out the back of the end zone. So we have 4 minutes and 28 seconds, and so we can run our offense as normal. We don't need to try to rush anything. No 2-minute offense. Washington is going to be able to run up for a 12-yard gain. So he's up to 50 yards for the game. This is actually the play that Hudson went deep on last time. And you know, he almost gets there. He almost if he had a couple more steps on him, he might have actually caught that. But it is good to try to keep him honest. Hudson catches that one, though, for a gain of 17. That's his second catch of the day. Yeah, and putting Hudson at wide receiver was a great choice, especially last season when we just did not have we didn't have a lot of explosive receivers last year, and so he was more of a possession guy last year, whereas this year he's been more just all around a good receiver to have. All right, so it's 3rd and inches. Tommy Washington's not able to push forward. Let's just see what they come out in, and then we'll... Okay, they don't have a whole lot over the middle. They have some guys outside, and we're easily able to get up over the yard to gain marker. Ooh, that was a dangerous throw. I feel like Hudson might have been wide open. I just didn't see him. And Lopez is able to catch that for a 15-yard gain. Jefferson gets in for the touchdown catch. So the pass goes to Jefferson. They were in man coverage on the outside. He gets open, gets a few feet on the DB, and we're in the end zone again. So it's going to be 28-7. And at this point, the Georgia State University Panthers are just rolling. This is basically the exact opposite of what happened last year. And I know I've been kind of disparaging against this defense, but there have been a couple of really... As I say that, that happens. But there have been a couple of not great moments for our defense this game, but they haven't fallen apart completely, which is good. Ooh, yikes. They just throw the quick screen out to counteract our blitz and pick up quite a bit there. it's probably the first play of this drive that hasn't gone for a first down, so that's good. And Strickland's able to get in there for the sack, so that's a loss of 7, or loss of 7, loss of 4, or something like that. And we're going to go into a 3rd and long, so we're just going to switch into a cover 3. And they're not going to convert, and so my guess would be they'll kick the field goal. No, they're just going to go for it, I think. I think we're just going to go into man. We may pay for this. Who knows? We'll see. Sometimes man works really well. Sometimes it does not. We're just going to call timeout. This should be okay. Got 2 tight ends. And that's, ooh, it's intercepted in the end zone. So we're going to get this one at the 25, it looks like. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We don't want to make any silly mistakes here. And Lopez is wide open down the field, and so, you know, we're able to get from the 25 all the way down to the opposite 34 pretty quickly. So that doesn't really go for much, but I think we need to focus on getting a first down. Let's just focus on getting a first down here. Yeah, that was dangerous. I said I was going to just try to go for the first down. I ended up going to the end zone again. And Hudson's able to pick that up, and we're going to run up to the line. Some yards after the catch. We have 1 touchdown left. Oh, gosh. That wasn't great. All right, so we throw a pick right in the end zone. Let's see what they decide to do. Looks like they're going to try to pass this. They will, and they'll get out of bounds. It only takes 1 second off the clock, unfortunately. Oh, man. So that pick is making us pay. And that doesn't get them anything, and so there's 4 seconds left. So they're just going to kick the field goal, so Could have been worse. We'll have 1 second here. See what they decide to do. They're going to kick this off, so might as well try to take it back. Wow. Oh my gosh. McFadden is going to go all the way. Yeah, he's pumped. Nice. At the very end with 1 second left in the second quarter. And we get the ball back, I think, to start the next half. So that pick ends up not costing us too much at all. All right, so McFadden just scored that really long touchdown, and that is not going to happen this time as he's leveled at about the 25. Tommy Washington runs forward for about 3. He's got 68 yards today so far. And Hudson is just going to kind of sneak around the corner, and he's going to pick up 17. Tommy Washington's going to only be able to pick up 2 there. There have not been a ton of big gaping holes today for the running game. That's better though, so he's able to pick up about 10. Lopez is able to pick up a catch for 18. He cuts in. The corner wasn't looking, had his back to him. He's able to pick that up. I think that's McFadden's possibly his first carry of the day. Yeah, first carry of the day for McFadden. Oh, almost. See, if he had thrown it, because he shook off the sack, and if he had thrown it right as when I initially wanted him to, probably would have gotten to him, actually. And Tommy Washington's able to get 4, so we do get the first down. He's had to be a bit of a workhorse today. He's had 18 carries so far. We're not even halfway through the third quarter. Robinson is able to get up inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be first and goal. So Tommy Washington goes forward for about 2 or 3. Now we're on the 1. And Hudson catches that for his first touchdown, I believe, of the day. And Mark Myrick's 3rd passing score. So with that, it is 41-10. So we're easily handling this game so far. Nothing has really happened to make to give us any concern. And this is just going to be down in the end zone. Our defense will get to come back out onto the field. Oh, that's going to be incomplete. I don't know why they're patting themselves. They got beat. They're lucky that was incomplete. And that's just going to be... maybe that was thrown away. Maybe that was just because of the pressure. I'm not sure, but Strickland almost got home there. And they're going to score on that pass play again. Like, it's just been this season, I think the biggest weakness of our team has been the pass defense. That's where all the big plays are coming from over the last couple weeks. That's what always seems to end up kind of falling apart. Our run defense has been good enough, and our offense has been good enough to make up for it, but okay. Well, that was not a particularly useful screenplay there. So we're going to be faced with a 3rd and 8. So we're at a 4th and inches. I think we're just going to go for this because I think there's a pretty high chance that we get this. Especially because they don't have like a goal line set up there. And so McFadden is able to easily get across the goal, or get across the line to gain. So what's been really interesting is that our the offensive yard totals are actually not that different. We do have a few more offensive, we do have a little bit more yards on offense than they do, but the score, it's really looking at the score, it's kind of bizarre because they have a similar number of offensive yards, but not nearly as many points. To me, it's a sign of efficiency. It's just a sign of offensive efficiency. We haven't turned the ball over. They gave up a pick 6 earlier in the game, I think. I think Justin Harvey had that pick 6. And then also we scored on special teams, so that really helps too. Which is overall. Ooh, this could be a big play, and it is. Hudson gets over there takes that down to the 15-yard line. It's a pretty big catch. McFadden is still back in the game, and he's gonna get up there for about 7. That's not going to be great. Okay. And Lopez is able to get past the line to gain, so it's going to be 1st and goal at about the 4. And Washington's able to power forward for about 3 yards. And Washington gets in the end zone. I think that's his first rushing touchdown today. More than deserved. And Griffin is reliable as always, kicks that one through the uprights, and we're up 49-17. So we didn't score any explosive plays that time, but it was, oh, he like muffed that. No explosive plays on that drive, but we steadily marched the ball down the field, and now we're getting close to the end of the 3rd quarter. And he does not hold on to that one. How does he not go down? Oh my gosh. That was so bad. Oh, we had like 3 chances to sack him. That's ridiculous. Okay. That's gonna give me nightmares. It's kind of interesting how long it took for him to find somebody who was actually open. Well, that didn't take very long, and Hooper let that guy get away from him. So again, our pass defense is just getting fried. We're getting cooked for a lot of yards in this game. Okay. And even though, like, I'm not super stressed about it right now because we're winning by a lot, you know, they've scored 17 points on us. You know, realistically, they could have scored more if it hadn't been for a couple of picks. And which, yeah, you can give our defense credit for those picks, but it's also bad decisions by the quarterback. You know, this could have been a very different outcome. I mean, you know, a couple things go a different way. I mean, sometimes it's luck too that allows you to win these games. And like, just getting cooked. Just not able to stop the passing attack. I don't know who was covering him, but it should have been man coverage. Unless he wasn't being covered, I guess. That could have been a thing, but way too easy. And I think that's kind of the next step in this team's progression. I mean, like, you know, defensive backs aren't like, they're not shiny recruits or anything. They're not skill players in terms of like quarterbacks, running backs. I mean, I even think of defensive ends are more exciting than cornerbacks, but they're kind of like the offensive line where if you're not careful, you can get into a situation where it's easy to get into a situation where you don't recruit them enough. What the heck just happened? That was a glitch. Well, that happened. Washington didn't take the ball, and then Meyer just didn't know what to do with it. So Washington's up to 121 yards on the ground. And Harris, I think he's a redshirt freshman. I remember recruiting him at the tight end position, Tim Harris. He gets the first down. That might have been his first catch of his career. Now that McFadden's able to get up for about 6, making it 3rd and very short. And Myrick's just going to slide down after he scrambles. You can also see down there too that, like, if you don't get first downs, we have 15 more first downs than they do, and so than Texas State, and so that also really affects the outcome of the game. You have to get first downs. You have to convert. I think what their yards are coming mainly from big explosive plays that they've had down the field, 1 or 2 of which have resulted in touchdowns, but a couple of which haven't, and then they haven't been able to finish off those drives with scores. Fourth and 1. Do we take this lying down? We are not. We are going for this. And Tommy Washington gets into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game. It's like, I don't want to take a field goal on the 1-yard line. There's no point. All right, kicking this off up the middle. .516 yards of total offense today. Excellent day for our offense. Our defense has allowed over 300 yards, not quite as much. I'm still just really irritated with this passing defense right now. Nice tackle. He just throws this way out of bounds. Is there not intentional grounding in college football? Because I feel like this whole just like throwing out of bounds as soon as you hike it is intentional grounding, but I also don't know if they have that in college. I can't remember if they have that in college football. I know they have that in the NFL. And that does not work at all, as we predicted the option. We have the blitz, and our linebackers were able to come in and clean that up. That was blown up too, pretty much. Uh-oh, who did I just put back in? Hopefully they don't get hurt. Well, they scored the touchdown, so. Because of our terrible pass defense. There's an way to audible into that, but I can never remember what it is. Okay, here we go. All right, we've got 44 seconds left. We're just going to kneel this down. Tommy Washington's able to pull forward for an 11-yard gain, which brings him up to about 141 yards on the ground for the day. So just overall a great game on offense for us. We're not going to run another play before the end of this game. No reason to risk injuries. And with that, we are going to finish this game up. We're going to be undefeated still this season at 6-0. Myrick had a great game with four touchdowns. Because I know he ran one in too. I know he's had at least 3 passing, 4 total touchdowns. Yeah, 3 passing, 1 rushing. Great game for him. Great game for Tommy Washington. Defense was a little suspect today, but we were able to score. We scored enough and got out ahead fast enough to avoid any risk to us winning. There's Justin Harvey with his touchdown on the pick 6. So yeah, let's just go ahead and look at stats. Again, I think they're going to kind of tell the story I was talking about, where offense looks really efficient, defense not so much. And that's been kind of the case for the last game and a half. Like the first half of last game, our defense was lights out, but then the pass defense started getting really rough. So Myarick has a really high rating this game. He's got 190 quarterback rating. Washington gets 29 attempts. Again, really a workhorse at the running back position. 141 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hudson and Lopez are our 2 top receivers, as usual, and have 6 receptions each. Lopez has the log of 46. And then McFadden has the 1 touchdown reception there. Defense. Let me see here. 5. Again, pretty even across the board in terms of pretty even across the board in terms of defensive tackling. But I want to look at team stats here. So score 56, first downs 25. You can kind of see the difference. They had total offense 473 yards versus our 525. Not all that far behind us, but I think the biggest thing is just efficiency on offense. And we'll see that here in a moment. But completion, attempts, touchdowns. Again, they had more passing touchdowns than we did. Passing yards, 357. They had more passing yards than we did. But if you look at your third down conversion rate, 81%, fourth down, 100%. Nobody did that. Red zone, we had a lot more red zone appearances than they did, even though we had a lower percentage. Only 1 turnover. Only one. We had the kickoff return for a touchdown. And overall, we ended up having just more yards overall, almost 700 yards complete. But yeah, so the passing yards, that's a bit frightening of a stat. That's a bit of a frightening stat to look at. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching this live stream. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy what I'm doing here, and also follow on Twitch if you like what I'm doing over there. So until next time, which actually I think will be fairly shortly here in the next few minutes. I will see you guys later.